Good morning. It is Sunday, October 18th. Was able to not have coffee this morning. I've noticed I have a mug. It's a very comforting thing for me to sit down and write or now talk while I sip on something nice and hot. And I've got something called mud water. It's got all sorts of mushrooms in it. Chaga, lion's mane, reishi. There's turmeric in it, cinnamon, sea salt, cacao. And then I just put the usual things I put in my coffee in it. I usually put like a nut milk or flax. I like this stuff, good karma flaxseed milk. And then some good ghee from grass-fed butter, local grass-fed butter, Hartzler Farm. And blend it all up. Here we are. I am missing sitting and putting pen to paper, that ritual of writing things down. I've said this before. But I'm also appreciating this new medium in that I notice where I censor myself. I notice where I hesitate. And I notice, I was watching yesterday's entry and a couple others where I've had this impression, how self-righteous I am. I think I have the right way. And it's funny because I see myself as this very open-minded person. And I do think in general, my nature, at least when I feel calm and safe and open and expanded, is to be able to hold space for all different sorts of ways of being and points of view. There's a lot of time I notice when I'm talking to the camera where I seem to think I know better, where I guess it comes down to judgment. Judgment, where I come across as having really harsh judgment against different concepts or ways of being or the way people are acting, I guess. And it just struck me as interesting because I thought, instantly next to where do I do that toward myself? Where do I not allow freedom and space to be and appreciate the diversity of experience within my own self? Where do I shut that down in a spirit or error of self-righteousness? Where do I point blame? They say we're our own biggest critic. I definitely see that as true for myself in my experience. And I'm very grateful for this opportunity to have been brought to my awareness in this degree, this extent, to which I'm tough on myself and tough on others, where I don't give that freedom for full expression. The wide, vast opportunities for experiencing life. When I'm self-righteous, I can see how I funnel it down into this narrow view. And particularly when I'm feeling contracted. And to me, still, the speaking on a video that might or might not be looked at by someone else, that's even just looked at by me, this less comfortable medium has me contracted in a way that I think the self-righteousness comes out more. Which is interesting because, this is not all that different from talking to another person, except I can see myself. Although, full disclosure, I don't look really all that much at the screen. I'm looking at the camera, because otherwise it looks like I'm looking off. See, if I'm looking at the screen right now, it looks like I'm looking somewhere else. So also, it's just unnatural feeling to look at myself, as you can imagine. What was I getting at? Oh, it's not too different from talking to someone else. Although it's almost easier in a sense that I don't have the facial expressions. Easier, I don't know if it's the right word. It's definitely different. But I don't have the facial expressions, the body language, the energy to read off of someone else when I'm communicating. So it has me curious about just how much I am self-censoring and how much judgment comes into play when I'm communicating with another person. Wow, now that's interesting. And why do I judge? Why do I have this need to feel safe by being right? Feeling right? Is it that I know that confidence, having an air of confidence, has gotten me what I want in the past? I see it getting other people what they want, in the world, in the workplace, relationships, whatever. Is it that a lot of my upbringing in a pretty religious community and household is about right and wrong? I certainly know there's a lot of energy, often subconscious or unconscious, brewing around that's focused on not getting things wrong. Which, when I step back, is nothing but hilarious, because in my learnings, I know that I can't get anything wrong here. Neither can you. We can create circumstances that are a little bit more challenging, and we can have more challenging relationships with our feelings. None of it's wrong. So, something for me to practice and be aware of in my speaking. And I'm sure it's happening in my thinking. It's definitely happening in my thinking where I'm being judgmental, where I'm not being open to the moment, where I'm not celebrating all points of view. It doesn't mean I have to like them all. But it also doesn't mean I have to think my point of view is better than another one or more correct. Might resonate more with my experience to that point in life. But that doesn't mean that I'm right and something else is wrong, or some part of me is right and some other part of me is wrong. That's all today.